Hi everybody, it's meteorologist Joe Cioffi here, FiOS 1 News Long Island and FiOS 1 News New Jersey, and here he is. Yellow. Joe Rao, FiOS 1 News, Lower Hudson Valley on this Monday.
Excuse me, Joe.
By all means, just park your tuchus and turn the light on.
The light here, and here we are.
Good. So we've got a interesting day tomorrow, I think, with this cold front that's coming on through.
Is this something new here with the green?
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Well,
maybe those people are going to give us tons of money, and that's why it's in green. We can only hope and pray. Oh, it seems like every other one.
Okay.
Yeah. Although those that are joining are coming in green, and everybody else it's coming. Hi to Eric Durkin, William Huber, Angry Ben, behave yourself, Ben. Rita Marie Sepe, Gloria, how would you say that? Stat. Okay. Mark Bogey, Jennifer Leteri Anderson, Phil Demore,
I'm doing my bogey.
Daniel
right
Kirby. You know, poor Daniel Kirby. Not to be confused with Durwood Kirby.
Yeah.
But he lives in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and that's what I've been telling you. Where they've had, like, he's had about 45 inches of rain in the last 3 months. Well, he's got to be up in the almost to 60 by now, because he just keeps getting pounded with 2 to 3 inches of rain every single day. I'm surprised he's not floating away.
Well, my home in Putnam Valley, in lower Putnam County, right at the Westchester line. In fact, northern Westchester too. Along about 6 o'clock tonight, had some really hellacious thunderstorm activity. A lot of electricity, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, and some folks lost power. I, on the other hand, have lost. I wouldn't lose my power, but I've lost all phone and internet service, and it's not so great. So.
Well, you know, Joe, I just happened to see that particular cell when it was developing, and when it started from almost nothing and just kind of blew up.
Right.
And that, you know, in that strengthening phase, when you're underneath a cell like that, those are usually the ones that clobber you.
Right.
The ones that are in that process of basically intensifying.
A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, vivid and dangerous lightning, and I'm sorry to say, Joe, from the looks of things, tomorrow we may have a repeat performance on a much wider scale.
Well, here's the Storm Prediction Center, which...
And why am I not surprised that the Storm Prediction Center has now all of a sudden put slight within the marginal zone that they've been posting for the last couple of days.
And they've actually expanded the marginal zone somewhat and moved it further south. They've actually included Long Island in this. You know, one of the things I noticed today, I looked at the ocean water temperatures are basically in the middle 70s in a lot of spots now, and it probably goes deeper than what the water temperatures were, say, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago when they got that high. So I'm thinking, you know, any wind that's off the water is probably not going to have a whole lot of impact. We're at that time of year now where the sea breeze doesn't knock the thunderstorms down, but in fact sometimes with the you get the sea breeze front and it makes them stronger. So
that's like down in Florida when they get a sea breeze front and everything moves in from the ocean.
Right. Well, that actually happened today in parts of Ocean and Burlington County in New Jersey late this afternoon. The sea breeze front triggered off some thunderstorms, and I should leave this up because we can. You look at everything on this window. The sea breeze front, actually, I watched some storms fire up in Burlington County. They literally went from nothing to peak strength to nothing in about 90 minutes.
Right.
And that's usually how they work.
And that's the same what happened up my way. For a while, it was incredible. The cloud-to-ground lightning, the tremendous explosive thunder, and again, it did a job on some of the cable lines and some of the electrical lines, and it's still kind of a mess up there. Knocked down a lot of wires, and you know, you got to shake your head and say, like, when is this all going to come to an end? Now, what do our friends over at the HRRR Club say?
Well,
tomorrow?
By the way, there's been a new upgrade of the HRRR, so it's 0, 6, 12, and 18. It goes out to 36 hours.
Right.
Whereas the rest of the time it only goes out to 18. So naturally, that the new HRRR is coming out now, it's only half out, so it's only out to 17 hours anyway.
Right.
Which only takes us to 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
And those storms are still not quite here yet. So I'm thinking after 2 or 3 o'clock, probably be prime time.
You know, my rule of thumb for in the summertime for thunderstorms, you look at what the prog charts are suggesting where the cold front is going to be that sets off this activity. And as soon as it reaches you, you just backtrack 6 hours. So this cold front tomorrow night is due to pass through the lower Hudson Valley sometime around 8 o'clock in the evening. Backtrack, that's 6 hours. So you say between 2 and 8 o'clock tomorrow will be the prime time for thundery activity.
And the front seems to, which is something that hasn't happened in quite a while, the front's actually coming through at a time of day where we'll probably capitalize on, you know, most of the daytime heating. And in fact, on the NAM at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that's really when the line fires up, right over New York City, into central New Jersey, and over Long Island. So the timing may favor, if you want to believe the NAM, the timing would favor areas a little bit more to the east this time around. On the other hand, we can use the always destructive-looking NAM 3 kilometer, and I say that only because it does tend to overdo it sometimes. But the NAM 3 kilometer kind of goes hog wild with some of these cells.
What time is that?
This is 7 o'clock tomorrow evening.
Okay.
But it's got two broken lines. It's got this one line to the north and a second line, kind of a little bit of a break there in northern New Jersey. And it actually says the opposite. The line splits Long Island.
Right.
Some go north and the rest go south. So, you know what? The threat is there. We'll just have to wait till tomorrow to see how it fires up.
Now, they're planning to have the All-Star game tomorrow in Washington, D.C., I think at 8 o'clock in the evening. Where's that line relative to Washington at 8 o'clock?
Okay, so this is, again, on this model, this is 1 o'clock. This is, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 4, 5, 6, long gone.
So it's long gone. So.
That's on that model. On the NAM 12, on the other hand, this is at 6 o'clock, just ending. So it should be out of there. You know, that seems to be an agreement. Now, the 3 days that follow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, look really nice, correct?
Right. Right.
Look good.
All right.
Low humidity.
You know, if I wanted to be a fusspot, I'd say that by Friday, a skosh higher on the humidity, although bright and sunny.
Just a smidge.
But just a smidge.
Okay, and then of course now a bit of a pattern development here for the weekend that I think we could touch upon a bit. You know, we've been used to these upper air systems coming by. Here's the upper trough that supports the cold front for tomorrow. It just moves along because the next one is coming in, but the next one doesn't move along. It actually drops southward into Ohio, and I guess this is where you just kind of hope, you know, if there's no tropical system down here off the southeast coast, that's a good thing, because when you have a trough in this position, this is where it could be problematic, and it looks like it's going to hang a while, so we might get into a situation where maybe starting late Saturday or Saturday night and then carrying us through a few days of next week, where there will be relatively good chances for downpours and thunderstorms almost every day.
Right.
And it's going to be warm and humid. Are you okay with that idea?
And I had a feeling that was going to happen because this coming weekend is the big German Fest at my wife's German American Club in Putnam Valley, and they of course always want people to come on out. They always hope for good weather, and for a time I said, well, there's a cold front coming in. It looks like if it's like all the others will pass on through and we'll have good weather. And now all of a sudden, I had to tell my wife the other day, I said, looks like now this thing's going to get hung up for whatever reason, and you might salvage Saturday, but it doesn't look like very good from, let's say, late Saturday night through Sunday and even early next week. So, just
a quick check of the tropics, Joe. I got the whole wide view of the Atlantic. Over the last couple of days, the Saharan dust looked like it was decreasing, but now it looks like it's increased again. So you've got some what looks like a pretty large area of dust coming in off the African coast in the eastern Atlantic, and then you got some moving toward the Caribbean, moving into the Caribbean today. You can see how quickly it just kind of moves by. Nothing, to me, conditions still look pretty unfavorable between that, and you still got a couple of upper lows are running around. Although those upper lows seem to have gotten a bit weaker, don't see anything that looks like an inevitable tropical threat of any kind at this moment anyway.
Right. So I guess the best thing that we can offer to everybody who's watching right now is that we get past tomorrow, we get through tomorrow with the threat of strong to severe thunderstorm activity, and then things should clear out by midnight or so tomorrow night and lead us into a couple of sterling days, Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday doesn't look all that bad, even though the humidity starts coming up a bit. And then comes that problematic weekend threat.
Daniel Kirby on a Science Channel said there were 571 tornadoes this year in the U.S. Is that a low number? I think that is a low number. I think the average number. You know what? Let's just real fast. I'm thinking the average number of tornadoes in the U.S. per year. Over 1,000. I thought maybe somebody would. I thought the number was something around 1,200, but it's over. Yeah, that's a low number, and it actually overall over the last 15 years or so, I remember reading, Joe, that there's been kind of an uneven decline in the number of tornadoes going on nationwide.
Well, we should be seeing the tornado activity begin to drop some overall by later September, October, as things start to cool off. Because you can't simply say 1,000 and divide that by 12, because there aren't any tornadoes, during January, February, a good part of March, and there certainly are not very many tornadoes around by October, November, December. So it's all scrunched into this time frame that we're right in the middle of right now. If we're only at 500, we're going to be hard pressed to get another 500 between now and, let's say, late September, early October.
Oh, we probably won't. William Huber wants to know, Saturday nights of some rather strong thunderstorms moved through Nassau County and westernmost Suffolk County. They barely made it to my house. Yeah, there's a boilerplate over Long Island, William. I think they let a bit of an opening for Nassau Saturday night because some areas did get clobbered by some strong thunderstorms in Nassau County. But it's been bone dry for the eastern half of the island has had very little rain over the last 6 to 7 weeks. Maybe this line of storms kind of breaks that streak. We'll see.
Well, we had a lot of activity at my home up in Putnam County Saturday night late. Started about 8 or 9 o'clock, and then it really was coming down to beat the band for a long time. So
yeah, that stuff came southeastward, and actually that went into got to just west of me.
Right.
And I saw some people reporting that there was some areas in Nassau County had some damage and heavy rain and so on, but it just never held together enough for Suffolk. And tomorrow night's beach concert at for Tara McLaughlin McGinnis at Jones Beach. Just pay attention to the forecast and the radar. Maybe they'll be out by 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't know at this point. We're just going to have to
play it literally by ear.
Yeah, at this stage we just have to sort of wait. We just have to wait for tomorrow to see how they how they fire up on the radar and whether they hold together when they move across Long Island.
I noticed the clock here, and I'm going to have to move.
You got a tape, yeah. So we'll call it a night. Joe's going to be on at the top of the hour. Files One News, Hudson Valley. I'll be on at the top of the hour for Long Island and New Jersey. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday night, and we will both see you tomorrow.
Should be an active day.